As a brain scientist, I knew that chronic stress is devastating for your brain. It gets marinated in a toxic cocktail of stress hormones, and it affects two areas in particular. The first area is the frontal lobe, and I brought a human brain model here. It sits in your head like this, and this frontal lobe, we use this to do exactly all those things I just mentioned, to set a goal, to make a plan, to decide what to do first, what to do next. It's the seat of your working memory. You use it to focus on your job, and it keeps your emotions under control. And the second vulnerable part is the hippocampus. It's on either side of the brain, a bit more in the middle. And this is the core of our memory. Now, why are these two areas so sensitive to stress? That's because stress hormones, high stress hormone levels, literally make these cells in these areas shrink. You see a brain cell here of a rat. This is the cell body, and you see all those long extensions, those branches and twigs, and they reach out to other neurons. They make contact with each other, so they form a network. And in rats and in people who are chronically stressed, you see that these branches disappear. The contacts break down, they just dissolve, and the network just doesn't work as well anymore. So that's bad news, right? But luckily, brain science has revealed many things you can do to counteract this. And I discovered that when I dove into the literature and in search for ways to improve the brain, and I'll share with you the four most important ones. By far, the best thing you can do for your brain is be physically active. 3 times a week, 45 minutes. Their hippocampus is already bigger in size than in people who only do stretching exercises. The second very important thing you can do for your brain is sleep well. Now I'd like to see your hands. Who of you has slept 8 hours last night? 8 hours. Well, you're doing quite okay. I think it's 40%. There can be quite a gap between knowing that sleep is good for you and actually do it. But I can tell you, and you may know already, that sleep loss is a chronic stressor for your brain as well. Already after one night without sleep, you know that your concentration is bad, your memory is worse, you're more irritable. So that's only after one night of sleep. This area behind your forehead starts malfunctioning, let alone after many nights of too little sleep. While we sleep, our brain reorganizes itself. The good connections are strengthened, the bad connections are taken out, and it washes itself clean from waste products. So we really need that for a good working brain. Now, I told you I worked till way past midnight, but I don't do that anymore. I make sure I get my 8 hours of sleep. And it's really difficult for me because I'm a night owl and I like to stay up late, but whenever I miss an hour or two, I make sure I make up for it the next night. Of course, your brain then also needs good building blocks, food. People who eat a Mediterranean diet have a better brain for a longer time with a better memory and better concentration. Then there's a fourth thing you can do for your brain, and that is meditate. And this is maybe even a harder area to do research on, but there's an increasing pile of scientific papers that show that daily meditation can have beneficial effects on your focus and your attention. And in a basic way, you can look at meditation as a training of your attention, because you sit with your eyes closed and you focus on your breath, and then your mind wanders off to something you have to do, and you put it back on your breath, and it happens again. And in this way, you train your attention and also your flexibility, your emotion control. It seems that many of these functions of the area behind your forehead are strengthened by meditation training.
One misconception of meditation is that if you're meditating, your mind will be blank. You can't make your mind blank. And if you try, you're just going to wind up with a gigantic headache. Mindfulness is traditionally a form of meditation. It's the awareness that arises from paying attention on purpose in the present moment and non-judgmental. When you set about bringing mindfulness into your life, the best coping strategy is to recognize stress and how to minimize our reactivity to those stressors. No matter how stressful, no matter how painful, I could ground myself in the present moment. Stop, remember, drop. We can cultivate mindfulness in an array of different ways. And the beauty of meditation is some forms will resonate with some people, and other forms will resonate differently with other people.
So with these 4 adjustments in your life, you can really counteract the devastating effect of chronic stress and make your brain resilient to it.